Now I'm getting cluster migraines.
He's in chronic extreme back pain.
Brandon Donovan is a shell of who he used to be.
I can see how skinny things are. I can see like the tendons instead of the muscle and the fat around it.
A Eugene veteran's life on hold at 29 years old.
My youth is gone.
Suffering in private until now.
When I saw those, I just felt so bad that he felt like he had to do that.
Brandon's wife Jennifer is talking about these photos he took recently. Since 2009, Brandon hasn't been able to eat without pain.
How the pain is like swallowing cement, and it's hardening in your stomach.
He says the symptoms first started during his deployment in Iraq. 9 years later, he's still waiting on the VA for a diagnosis and surgery.
What would you say to them? What the hell are you doing?
The couple started digging into Brandon's VA medical notes. They found mention in 2014 of a rare condition called MALS, also known as celiac artery compression syndrome.
It was just dismissed offhand.
And you never knew?
We never knew. I never knew.
4 years later, MALS suspicion comes up again. This past October, an OHSU physician recommended MALS treatment.
And I find out all these years later that he's been suffering when it could have been looked into back then. Like, my mouth dropped when I saw that. Like, I was livid.
I don't accept your failure to diagnose me.
MALS recently made it into an episode of ABC's Grey's Anatomy. The condition affects a ligament around your celiac artery. Often, eating makes the pain worse.
There. Oh, the median arcuate ligament. You've got MALS.
It feels like there's a string pulling on things it shouldn't be, and at any moment, it's just going to burst.
The National Institutes of Health says MALS is often misdiagnosed. Researchers report about 10 to 24% of the general population having MALS, but those researchers say only a few of these patients suffer abdominal pain. Brandon has dropped around 50 pounds.
He doesn't feel good about himself right now, and I mean, he doesn't even want to go to swimming pools anymore because of how he feels about himself, so sorry.
That October OHSU letter refers Brandon to a specialist in Connecticut, a physician outside the VA. November 29th, he got a letter showing the VA denied that treatment request. Brandon says it's not the first denial. We went back to Brandon's home for a second interview.
He's saying that we've never been denied, and we've been denied twice.
He is Roseburg VA Interim Medical Director David Whitmer. Whitmer called Brandon this week.
The interim director says, we never denied you. I'm not sure if it's a play on words, like we've never denied medical care.
Whitmer told Brandon the VA will now approve a consult with that Connecticut doctor, not the surgery yet, and not how this veteran wanted his case to be handled.
I don't feel good about this at all. Like, I feel like I should be like, yay, let's go to Connecticut, let's get this done. But I feel like they cheated.
Because of the sudden developments by the VA.
I'm pointing out an issue that needs to be fixed. And they're just like, okay, you need to get care, go get care. And let's ignore that this ever happened.
What they won't forget is how long they've waited. The Donovans planned to have a second child by now, but Brandon is too sick.
Just to have what we had planned for with our life to be impacted is hard.
Their lives on hold as this veteran's health continues getting worse.
I will survive as long as I can.
He says, for the sake of veterans who don't have a voice.
I feel like I need to live for the brothers and sisters that aren't living.
If Brandon eventually has the MALS surgery, a National Institutes of Health study suggests he has up to a 79% chance of long-term pain relief. KEZI 9 News first reached out to the Roseburg VA December 5th. A week later, we received an email response from the interim director. David Whitmer says in part, quote, we have determined that a referral to a specialist outside of the VA can be authorized. We are currently making arrangements to do so, end quote. This comes after Senator Ron Wyden's office also got involved. The senator's office wouldn't schedule an on-camera interview with us, but they say that Brandon Donovan's case has led them to look deeper into the VA and how Brandon has waited 9 years for a diagnosis and a surgery. Only KEZI 9 News will keep you updated on Brandon's case moving forward. Brian Anderson, KEZI 9 News.